That's good, right? That like the head of the FBI just gets unbelievably plastered every single day and then goes out in public. I'm sure he's not sharing any secrets, right, guys? I'm sure this is someone we can trust with classified documents, right? Now, for one of our main stories today, I would like desperately to talk about Crash Out Patel. For anyone missed, The Atlantic put out this piece. The FBI director is MIA. Kash Patel has alarmed colleagues with episodes of excessive drinking and unexplained absences. On Friday, April 10th, as FBI Director Kash Patel was preparing to leave work for the weekend, he struggled to log into an internal computer system. He quickly became convinced that he had been locked out. He panicked, frantically called aides and allies to announce that he had been fired by the White House, according to 9 people familiar with his outreach. 2 of the people described his behavior as a freakout. Patel oversees an agency that employs roughly 38,000 people, including many who are trained to investigate and verify information that can be presented under oath in a court of law. News of his emotional outburst ricocheted through the bureau, prompting chatter among officials and in some corners of the building expressions of relief. The White House fielded calls from the bureau and from members of Congress asking who was in charge of the FBI. It turned out the answer was still Patel. He had not been fired. The access problem, 2 people familiar with the matter said, appears to have been a technical error and was quickly resolved. It was ultimately bullshit, one FBI official told me. I'm so glad that the seniors in charge who don't know how to use computers have all of the power in our society. That's so good. Yes. He forgot his password and then forgot that he forgot his password. It turned out, but Patel, according to multiple current officials as well as former officials who have stayed close to him, is deeply concerned that his job is in jeopardy. He has good reason to think so, including some having to do with what witnesses described to me as bouts of excessive drinking. My colleague Ashley Parker and I reported earlier this month that Patel was among the officials expected to be fired after Attorney General Pam Bondi's ouster. Don't worry, Trump only fires women. On April 2nd, we're all just waiting for the word that Patel is officially out of the top job. An FBI official told me this week. And a former official told my colleague, Jonathan Lemire, that Patel was rightly paranoid. Senior members of the Trump administration are already discussing who might replace him, according to an administration official and 2 people close to the White House who were familiar with conversations. In response to a detailed list of 19 questions, the White House spokesperson, Caroline Leavitt, told me in a statement that under Donald Trump and Patel, quote, crime across the country has plummeted to the lowest level in more than 100 years, and many high-profile criminals have been put behind bars. Director Patel remains a critical player in the administration's law and order team. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche told me in a statement, Patel has accomplished more in 14 months than the previous administration did in 4 years. Anonymously sourced hit pieces do not constitute journalism. So I'm just gonna take a gander. I'm just gonna take a guess. I'm gonna take a little guess here that the Trump administration is really not enjoying the Iran Lego videos, huh? Yeah. FBI responded with a statement attributed to Patel. Print it, all false. I'll see you in court. Bring your checkbook. I'm so soy. Oh, God, dude. IT lockout episode is emblematic of Patel's tumultuous tenure as director of the FBI. He's erratic, suspicious of others, and prone to jumping to conclusions before he has necessary evidence, according to more than 24 people interviewed about Patel's conduct, including current and former FBI officials, staff at law enforcement and intelligence agencies, hospitality industry workers, members of Congress, political operatives, lobbyists, former advisors, speaking on the condition of an anonymity, discuss sensitive information in private conversations. They described Patel's tenure as a management failure and his personal behavior as a national security vulnerability. They said that the problem with his contact was well beyond what has been previously known and can include both conspicuous inebriation and unexplained absences. I mean, if you think about it, he's kind of just taking notes from the president, given the whole I should be showing up to work as the president of the United States, but instead I'm golfing. His behavior has often alarmed officials at the FBI and the Department of Justice, even as he won support from the White House for his eager participation in Trump's efforts to turn federal law enforcement against the president's perceived political enemies. Several officials told me that Patel's drinking has been a recurring source of concern across the government. They said he is known to drink to the point of obvious intoxication. In many cases, at the private club Ned's in Washington, while in the presence of White House and other administration staff. That's good, right? That, like, the head of the FBI just gets unbelievably plastered every single day and then goes out in public. I'm sure he's not sharing any secrets. Right, guys? I'm sure this is someone we can trust with classified documents, right? Right? He is also known to drink at excess at the Poodle Room in Las Vegas, where he frequently spends parts of his weekends. Early in his tenure, meetings and briefings had to be rescheduled for later in the day as a result of his alcohol-fueled nights. 6 current and former officials and others familiar with Patel's schedule told me. On multiple occasions in the past year, members of his security detail had difficulty waking Patel because he was seemingly intoxicated. According to information supplied to Justice Department and White House officials, a request for breaching equipment normally used by SWAT and hostage rescue teams to quickly gain entry into buildings was made last year because Patel had been unreachable behind locked doors, according to multiple people familiar with the request. The percent chance that Kash Patel isn't totally blackmailable by Mossad, it's like we're approaching 0. It's actually okay for him to get drunk in public because no one wants to hang out with him anyways. Okay, you might be spitting on that. You might be spitting on that. Wait a minute. It's fine. He's just quiet quitting. He was actually just testing the quality of the SWAT equipment. Some of Patel's colleagues at the FBI worry that his personal behavior has become a threat to public safety. FBI director is expected to be available and focused on his job, especially when the nation is at war with a state sponsor of terrorism. Current and former officials have told me that they have long worried about what would happen in the event of a domestic terrorist attack while Patel's in office. They said that their apprehension has increased significantly in the weeks that since Trump launched his military campaign against Iran. That's what keeps me up at night. One official said, "Nah, you guys are just worrying for no reason. It's okay that the head of the FBI is drunk all of the time. That's okay. That's okay." Patel arrived at the FBI in early 2025 as a deeply polarizing figure. He'd risen from being a public defender in Miami to a congressional aide, ultimately a national security official during the first administration. During Patel's confirmation hearing to the FBI director, Republican chairman of Senate Judiciary Committee Chuck Grassley expressed optimism that Trump's nominee would implement much-needed reforms. He's the right change agent for the FBI, the senator adding that the Bureau was in need of a big shakeup. Oh, well, it's shaken up, but I think Patel might prefer it stirred, so you'd have to ask him. Under questioning from skeptical Democrats, Patel vowed that there will be no retributive actions, and he was not aware of any plans to punish FBI staff who had been part of investigations into Trump. Democrats were not the only ones who were leery of Patel, who had a record of embracing far-fetched conspiracy theories, including the notion that the FBI and its informants had helped instigate the January 6th insurrection attack on the U.S. Capitol to sabotage the MAGA movement. Several Republicans wavered on whether to back him, but a pressure campaign by the White House and its allies ultimately prevailed, and Patel was confirmed by a vote of 51 to 49. Sorry, I skipped ahead for just a brief moment to see. Still, Patel has his fans. Okay, sorry, we're getting there. We're getting there. It's a long article. It's a long read, but it's worthwhile. Inside the FBI, which had been wounded by a number of scandals, wounded. Okay. Many hoped that Patel could give the Bureau a fresh start, but even many of those who had been enthusiastic about his arrival have been since disappointed. Officials have said that Patel has been an irregular presence at FBI headquarters and in field offices, and that he has compounded the agency's existing bureaucratic bottlenecks. Several current and former officials told me that Patel is often away or unreachable, delaying time-sensitive decisions needed to advance investigation. On several occasions, an official told me Patel's delays resulted in normally unflappable agents, quote, losing their shit. Patel has also earned a reputation for acting impulsively during high-stakes investigations. He announced triumphantly on social media, for instance, that the FBI had detained a person of interest in the Brown University shooting in December. That person was soon released, while agents continued to hunt for the killer. Yeah, this is when there was like one guy in the crowd that was like, I did it, I killed him, I'm Spartacus, and then they like detained him, and he was like, I was just kidding, I didn't get it. Gotcha. Get rage baited, idiots. And then Patel was like, we got the guy. We got him. With our excellent, incredible, epic FBI abilities, we found the guy that was saying that he was him. We found the guy who turned himself in. Yeah, one sec. Still, Patel has his fans. The president has been pleased by Patel's efforts to purge agents who worked on January 6 cases and other probes into Trump. Well, we got to make sure none of the pedophiles get prosecuted, right? We have to make sure we continue releasing and pardoning every pedophile because play Iranian Lego propaganda video, your government is run by pedophiles. The president has also indicated that he is relatively unbothered by grumblings about Patel from within the FBI, according to White House and other administration officials. That's not surprising. Patel views many of the Bureau's veterans as anti-Trump deep state agents who have worked against him and his followers. But Patel on occasion has earned the president's ire. Trump complained that the FBI director has seemed unprepared for TV appearances, and that probably because he was fucking drunk. It really is a government of DUI hires. They really replaced all of the DEI hires with DUI hires, and it's like that's real. Continuing, but Patel has on occasion earned the president's ire. He complained that he was unprepared for TV appearances and that some high-profile investigations that he directed Patel to pursue have not moved quickly enough. These include inquiries into former Biden administration officials and other political opponents. Patel's spotty attendance at the office and the eagerness with which he's embraced the perks and travel that come with the job have also been sources of concern at the White House. Some in the West Wing have followed the headlines about Patel's use of the FBI for personal matters, as well as the whispers about his love of partying, and said that they fear that Trump would react badly if were he to focus on those storylines. This is pretty amazing. DOJ's ethics handbook states that, quote, an employee is prohibited from habitually using alcohol or other intoxicants to excess. The department's inspector general has warned that off-duty alcohol consumption can not only impair employees' judgment, it can also make them vulnerable to exploitation or coercion by foreign adversaries. Haha, luckily there are no intelligence states that we're constantly in contact with that would ever be benefited by having blackmail on the head of the FBI. Haha. Right, guys? All clear on OPSEC. All clear. All clear. Clear. We're clear. We're all clear. I'm going to say something. All right. I know a lot of stoners will try and tell you we should have weed so people aren't abusing alcohol. Because everyone abuses alcohol because weed is federally prohibited. And maybe if we had weed, more people would stop abusing alcohol and start instead using weed. I'm not claiming that. Okay? I'm not going to claim that. What I am going to claim is I'm tired of seeing Kash Patel's eyes bulging out of his head, and I think weed would solve that problem. For my sake and everybody else who ever has to look at the guy, can we just legalize weed so that guy can get high instead of drunk? I don't want to look at him being like, Valhalla, brother. I don't want to see that. If he was high, he would look normal. He'd just be like, hey guys. He would look so normal. He would finally not look like he's fucking meth coked out, dude. Can we get that guy on weed? Can we please get him on weed? Is that so much to ask? Is it a lot to ask? You will not be in a white people's heaven, brother. Best I can do is get myself on weed. Sorry. Lights blunt. Oh, God. All right. Anyways, the article is more of the same. Just talking about how unsurprisingly, having your FBI director be drunk all of the time is kind of not a great idea. and everybody's mad about it and he doesn't show up to work. That's just more of the same and people being like, dude, can we not have DUI hires? Please? Please. Okay. All right.